So we are recording. All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our new stylist training call. It is Tuesday, August 21st, and I am excited to kick this off. And also, before we really dive in, sharing a reminder with anyone who is watching the recording or checking this out that every Tuesday, the first Tuesday and the third Tuesday of each month, we will have one of these new stylist training calls. So it's a great time for, if you're new, to hop on, get a refresher, ask questions, learn the ropes, or for anyone who has been a stylist for a while and wants to get a refresher on the basics and how to dive back in. If you have maybe put Stella and Dot on the sidelines for a while and you want to get involved again, you are welcome to join us as well. So I want to dive in by really just chatting about all the different reasons why you might join Stella and Dot. So maybe it's for the jewelry and just because you love it, you want a discount. Of course, with our amazing August sign-up special, you get $500 worth of accessories for only that $99 startup. And then, of course, you know, there's loads and loads more waiting for you after you get your launch rocking and rolling. And so, of course, that's a great reason to join and to draw you in. Or maybe you are looking for something to make a side income. Maybe you're looking for something that just is something that's just for you and a way to kind of have something to put your passion into, or maybe it's something else. And the reason why I even mention this and go into it is just as a reminder that we all come here for different reasons. And I think for so many of us, a big reason why we end up sticking around or something that we get out of this that we didn't expect is really this amazing community of women. So one thing I love about these calls is just being able to connect each other with the other women on our team. And for those of you who are getting started here in August, I would also love to get everyone onto a Marco Polo group. If you're not familiar with Marco Polo, it's this awesome app. It is, I'll show you, this is what it looks like. It's this little beach ball. And it is like a video walkie-talkie. And it's a great place where you can bounce back and forth, ask questions, really get to know the other people who are in this team with you, and everyone can learn together. So I'm going to go ahead. I'll get that set up in the next day or two, and stay tuned to see an invitation to join in on that. So again, you have different motivations for why you join, but I think it's worthwhile to take some time and give yourself some space because, you know, it is nerve-wracking to try something new, to go out on a limb, to put yourself out there, to maybe feel that little bit of fear and go for it anyway and do it anyway. So I think that it's worthwhile, and we all owe it to ourselves to give yourself a little bit of space to dream and dream about what the possibilities with Stella and Dot could be. So yes, you're going to get great free product perks. You're going to get to shop for a discount. You can be able to earn extra spending money. But what if it were something even much more than that? What would it look like for you to earn an extra $1,000 a month or even more? What would that do for your personal budget? You know, what would you spend it on? Would you use that for really amazing travel experiences that you have been wanderlusting over? Or would you use that to pay off student loans or credit card debt that is hanging over you and you don't know how to get rid of that? You know, maybe you would use that extra money to do home projects, renovations. Maybe you've been dreaming of a renovated kitchen or bathroom and it just hasn't been able to be a priority yet. You know, if you are someone who is a mom, maybe it's something that you can use towards your kids' activities. I'm not there yet, but I hear that stuff's expensive, right? Virginia, you know, you've been telling me all about that. I'm like, oh dear Lord. Or maybe it is that extra guilt-free spending money. Maybe a reverse situation. Maybe you're always spending all your money on your kids, and you always sacrifice from yourself, and it would feel nice to have that extra income to buy some cute clothes for the season ahead, or go get a mani-pedi without feeling guilty about it. So whatever that could be for you, I really think it's worthwhile, again, to spend some time really dreaming on it and thinking about it, because there are truly so many women who sign up just for the discount and then end up really making a business out of this. And whether that's part-time, full-time, as a hobby on the weekends, or whatever, there are so many possibilities, and you can make it happen, whatever you want that to be. So since we don't have a ton of people on, I'm not going to have us open up and like chat about that, unless Alexa, you or anyone wants to share or chat. I know Virginia and Jess, you might be driving now, but you're both testaments to how you can you join for one reason, and then that reason evolves along the way. Do you want to add anything about that?
Well, I can say I definitely joined for the free jewels, and I fell in love with a necklace, and I just had to have it, and I didn't think I was going to do anything with it. And then I saw what was capable, in ways of changing my family and making things possible that I didn't think were possible. So it's definitely been a life-changing experience to me, and I want to share it with everybody.
I love that. And that's like what I think is so much fun, is having, a tiny little hand in seeing those things happen, and being able to see how much impact we're really getting to make. It's really cool. So once you take that time to dream about the possibilities and imagine what it would be like to make this into something amazing, the first step is just getting started, right? Like the key, I think one of the keys to this business, especially at the beginning, is to not overthink it. It can be so easy to start reading through absolutely every little thing in the Stylist lounge, or feeling like you need to get on every single training call or listen to every video. And the reality is, like, none of that is going to give you a paycheck. Yes, those are great ways as you grow and you want to learn and you want to put in the time to develop your skills. But at the very beginning, you just want to dive in and learn along the way. So the best thing that you can do, again, don't overthink it, is just plan your launch. So Alexa, I know you're on here. You've got your launch date set for next Thursday. I'm so excited for you. So that's really the best way to get started. And what's going to happen is you'll set the date for that launch, and then you're going to kind of have this moment of like, oh crap, what am I getting myself into? I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never done this before. And the good thing to remember is that neither did any of us. No one who has ever, built a business with Stella and I had any idea what they were doing when they did their first trunk show. And that is what I love about it, is that you learn as you go, and you get to make little mistakes along the way, and they're all learning opportunities. And the beautiful thing is, like, we are not doing brain surgery. It is jewelry. It is accessories. It is fashion. So you can make those little mistakes and take a step back, evaluate, say, hey, here's what went well. Here's what I would do differently next time. And all the while, you're earning money, you're getting your first sales, and you're in business. So it's exciting. It's fun. Have fun with it and just dive in. So once you sign up, you really want to plan that launch date for probably around day 10 of being a stylist, because by then your samples are going to have arrived. You're going to have your business in a box. So the very first thing you want to do is start spreading the word. You want to get the launch show booked in the lounge. Your sponsor can help you do that, but it's very self-explanatory. And then start inviting your guests, right? And we know that the way to get a good turnout is to invite at least 40 people. And you really want to just invite everybody that you know. I like to think of it as like, if this were like your big blowout birthday party, like you would be telling everybody, you'd be like, come to my birthday party, you know, you don't want to miss out. So this is not the time that you want to be like hesitant or like, oh, it's just this little thing that I'm doing on the side. You know, it's no big deal. Like, it is a big deal. You're launching a business and it's fun. It's simple. People are going to love absolutely everything. And the more enthusiastic you are, the more that they're going to buy into that too. So the great thing about building your guest list is that it's really dual purpose, and it's going to lead you to your next style sessions, trunk shows. Terminology note, we really use those terms interchangeably. A trunk show and a style session is just the exact same thing. So you might hear both of those terms used interchangeably, and don't worry, they're exactly the same. So you want to start working on building your who do you know list. And that is really exactly what it sounds like. So you're going to take a piece of paper, turn it on its side so it's long ways, and then make at least 5 different columns, just like this. And you're going to start putting different headers on the columns that represent the different social circles in your life. So for example, you might have family members, close friends, college friends, coworkers, church people, like whatever you're into, like whatever activities that you have and whatever you're involved in, those are going to be the different headers on your columns. And you can have more than 5. It's unlimited. The more the merrier. Then what you want to do is in each column, just start listing all the people that you know. And the key piece of advice that I have for as you're making this list is to just truly include absolutely everyone. A mistake that I made when I was first getting started as a stylist is that when I, did this exercise and I made this list, I accidentally was making it my list of my who do you know list of people that I think would like Stella and Dot. And by filtering out people, I learned later on, it's almost like I was deciding for them, and it really limited my early success. It wasn't until I went back to the drawing board and looked at that list and said, okay, who am I leaving out? Are there people on here that I know that I just assumed for one reason or another that they wouldn't be interested? When I added them to my list and started reaching out to those people, which I'll go over some tips on how to do that in just a second. When I started to do that, I was really surprised by some of the people that were interested. And on the reverse, what led me to that moment was that when I had made that list of that initial list of people that I thought would be interested, I was surprised by some of the people who weren't. And that brings me to a just great lesson that the faster you can get on board with accepting this and being okay with it, the faster you're going to be able to get the results that you want, is that the only things that you need to be successful in this business are positivity and enthusiasm. Those get tied hand in hand, and resilience. So it's about 95% positivity, enthusiasm, just you being genuinely excited about what you're doing and sharing it loud and proud. And then that 5% resilience is knowing and being okay with the fact that you're going to get about 9 no's to every 1 yes. So when you're starting to reach out to offer trunk shows to people, just accept and expect that majority of people are going to say no. And it's not no, I hate you. No, I think this is the dumbest idea ever. No, what the heck did you get yourself signed up for? It might just be that it's not a good time for them right now, or what a whole other myriad of reasons of why right now isn't a good time or why they're not interested. And the faster that you can move on from that and ask another person, the more successful that you'll be. So once you make that list, you have your different columns, you're listing your people. You really want to aim for getting that list to about 50 people. That is not only going to be your guest list, it's also going to be your list of people that you start reaching out to book your first style sessions with women who are the hostess. That's not you. So that first show, you're the hostess, you're the stylist, you're collecting those hostess rewards, and you are being the stylist as well. that's a great way to just blast out the word, get people in front of the jewelry as fast as possible. But then from there, you want to start to build, and you want to get into new social circles to meet people that you don't already know, right? That's how you grow. Hey, Millie. So you've got this list, you're making the list. Now, before you do anything with the list, besides invite them to your launch, you're going to invite everybody that you know. Go to your calendar, and you want to circle the 4 dates in the next 30 days that you are available, that you have a 2-hour window of time that you can go have a girls' night or a girls' afternoon or brunch, whatever time is good for you. Although I will share that Thursday evenings are my most popular time, so that's a great night to get out and do a style session, as well as Sunday afternoons. That's very popular too. So you want to circle at least 4 open dates that you have. This is basically like you setting your business hours. It would be like if you were opening a brick and mortar store and you didn't post your hours, people wouldn't know like when they could come shop with you, and you wouldn't know when to show up for work. So it would be a little bit strange. So you want to do the same thing for yourself with this business too. Find those open dates, and then go into each column and circle or asterisk or in whatever way highlight the person in each column that this is where you are allowed to have some judgment, right? Pick the person that you think is the most likely to say yes, right? They might end up saying no, but start off with the ones that you feel like are the best lead. Because if you have like your book club on here, for example, you want to ask, you don't want everybody in the book club to host, because that would be kind of weird. You want to get like one person of the book club to host, to invite all the other girls in the book club, and then also to basically do this same exercise with her so that she starts to invite people that you don't know. So maybe you're in the book club together, but she works somewhere else, and maybe she goes to Orange Theory and you don't work out there, and she does something else that you're not involved in. So she's going to make this same list so that then when she has her trunk show, you're meeting new people. And that's really the goal of the trunk show. That's how you're going to break out of your immediate friends and family as quickly as possible. So what is that going to look like? What does that look like when you actually reach out and offer? So for some of the people that are coming to your launch, of course, they're going to have a big wish list of so much stuff that they want to buy that they're not going to want to buy all that night. So that is a great moment to be able to reach out and offer to them. But honestly, I wouldn't wait until that. Even people who are coming to your show, you could go ahead. So Alexa, I'll use you as an example. Your launch show is next Thursday. If you start to highlight what dates that you have open, for the rest of September, you could totally pencil someone in for a date before your launch even happens. She can come to your launch. She can build her wish list there. If she is dying to purchase something that night that she can't wait for her show and she can't wait for her free hostess shopping spree, of course she can shop for it then. But that's a great way to start filling up your dates. And then of course, the people who can't make it to their launch, it's a perfect flow in to see that RSVP, no, I can't make it, and to say, no big deal, totally understand, you've got whatever else going on. I would love to bring all of my samples over to you and your friends, and you would actually get to shop the line for free. So every time that you reach out to book a show, it's going to be a multi-step process, and it's always going to start with a warm-up. The warm-up might be a text message, maybe an email. I think that text works the best, for me at least. And just something very simple, just a couple of sentences, and I'll phrase it as if I'm a new stylist. So let's say I'm reaching out to Virginia. Hey, Virginia, I am so excited to share that I just got started as a Stella and Dot stylist. Not sure if you're familiar with the line, but I am obsessed with this, what is this necklace? Kalani, is that what it is? I don't know. I'm obsessed with this statement necklace, and I think it would look so gorgeous on you. I would love to have you as one of my debut hostesses. You'll get a big shopping spree, and it'll be such a fun girls' night. I have this date and this date open. What do you think? So, of course, with that, I would be including a picture of the necklace, and I think that is a great way to focus in your reach outs as a brand new stylist by just focusing in on a piece that you really genuinely love, whether it's a necklace, one of our bags, or a top, and sending that picture out to people because they may or may not know what Stella and Dad is at all. So give them that visual, and then share that you're just getting started, share that you would love to have her be a debut hostess. And then another key piece of it is offering 2 specific dates. So if you've gone into your calendar and you have highlighted your 4 next dates that are open, let's say you've got the 6th, the 8th, the 12th, and the 15th. Offer your first 2 that are open. Because if she says those 2 don't work, you can go on to the next one. But you want to book in your shows sooner rather than later to keep your momentum going. The other thing that maybe you could add in there, and I can type this up and share it with everybody. That was like really off the cuff, that warm up. So the only other thing I would add is maybe like incorporating a theme. And a theme is like nothing elaborate. It's like, we could do a style happy hour Thursday night or mimosas and must-haves on Saturday morning. Which one sounds more fun to you? Just, obviously this is not like some Pinterest party that you're like doing anything crazy, but just something to theme it to where it's painting a picture for her of how much fun it's going to be. So I'll type up those words to say and share it. So you're going to send that warm up, and then you're going to wait 48 hours. And here's what's likely going to happen. You are not going to hear back. So let's say that you send that out, you send messages like that out to 10 people. You'll maybe hear back from 1 or 2, but you're probably going to get a whole lot of silence. And the reason why I share that is just to set that expectation so that when it happens, you don't have to panic and be like, oh my goodness, everyone hates me. I am a failure. Nope, that's not the case. What's happening is totally normal. We're living in an on-the-go world where someone sees a text message and they can't answer it right then and there, so they set their phone down and then they totally forget to answer. I don't know about you, but I know I've done it 100 million times. So the next piece is to follow up, and that's just that 48 hours later, you've kind of given her 2 days to get back to you. You haven't heard anything yet. Just a simple follow-up. Hey, I'm looping back around to make sure you got my message. That's it. You are much more likely to hear something back now on this second touch. And if you don't, the third touch would be a full week later from that first reach out. So maybe if you hop off this call tonight and you send 10 messages to people, you're going to follow up with them on Thursday, and then next Tuesday, do a third touch. The third touch is where you maybe will send them a different reason of why you're reaching out. Maybe you're not even mentioning about the hosting part, but sharing maybe a sale that we have going on, or you're sharing a different item that you think she'd love, just to kind of get you back on her radar again and bump up your text to the top of her feed, right? You still may or may not hear back. Of course, each time that you follow up, that likelihood of hearing back is increasing. And then finally, if you still haven't heard back and it's a full 2 weeks from the time that you first reached out, so 2 Tuesdays from now, you will close the loop. And that is just, I think of it as, one, you're being very professional by doing this. It's also the way that you let her off the hook, right? Because maybe she just is totally crazed. She has so much going on in her life. Maybe she doesn't know how to say no without feeling like she's hurting your feelings. And, you know not to take it personally, but she's not sure how to say it. And this is just that closing the loop is just what helps avoid awkwardness in the future, right? So that's when you would just say, hey, Virginia, it seems like you must have a lot going on. I totally understand. I'll keep in touch in the future and let you know when we have something that I know you'll love. Hope you're doing great. And a lot of times after that close the loop, you might even hear back with a message that's like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I haven't been blowing you off. It's been totally crazy. We're selling our house and this, that, and the other thing are happening. And then you're like, okay, I totally understand. So that 4-step system of reaching out. If you do that consistently and reach out to 10 people a week, you are going to see major results. What I would really suggest as a brand new stylist, and since you're already reaching out to all these people to invite them to your launch, go for 10 people a day. Do 10 people a day for your first week. So like 4 days of 10 people a day, reaching out to 40 people. That's really going to get the momentum moving very fast. And then after that, fall into the 10 people a week pattern. But it's kind of like this big burst of activity to really get the ball rolling. And then you'll be following up with all of those people as you continue that 10 person a week reach out system too. So,
and can I add something real quick?
Yes.
Okay, so something that really challenged me when I first started was I love your idea of picking the dates, but I was like so concerned about offering people the same dates. So I just want to make sure it's clear. Don't worry about that. Like, I mean, I've done it 100 times and it's never once been a problem. And even if it was, you could very easily just say, you know, I'm sorry, I totally booked that date because it's just been crazy, but I've got these 2 dates for you. So I just want to say, especially if you're doing 10 a day, don't be afraid to offer the same dates out.
Yeah, that's a really good piece of advice. And I did the same thing too. I'd be like, oh man, I offered Virginia the 10th and the 11th. So when I reach out to Jess, I don't want to I'll offer her the next 2 dates. And that is just one, it's hard to keep track of who you reached out to about which dates. And you're so right. I've maybe only had it happen a handful of times where somebody gets back and they're like, oh, I want to do the 12th. And I like just booked that with somebody else. Which honestly is not a bad problem to have because it kind of creates that scarcity. Like people are like, oh my gosh, well, I've got to get my date picked or I'm not going to get to have one. So that's a really good point. All right. Well, that is all that I have for you all tonight. Are there any other questions? And Alexa, if you want to type anything, or of course you can text me afterwards, but if there's anything on your mind that you want to ask right now, happy to answer that. And Millie is just getting trained up to be an amazing stylist on her
I
18th
might be taking her to my style session tomorrow. We'll see.
Love it.
We're
Love
going
it.
to school tomorrow.
Go to school.
Yes. All right, Alexa, no new questions. Awesome. Well, anyone else, if you're watching the recording and you have any questions, I will be posting this recording. I'm going to post that blurb of the words to say to warm up your first hostesses. And if you are on this live right now, it started right this second. Kelly Cox is leading a training call on how to build your business with just 10 minutes a day. So I think I'm excited to pop on over to that. And I think it'll be really good tips, especially for anyone who works full time, to be able to really hone in on those high value actions. All right, everyone, thanks for taking the time out of your evening tonight or taking the time to watch the recording. Always here to help answer questions. I hope that you all have a fantastic rest of your evening and good luck getting started with your businesses. Bye.